All right, YouTube, welcome back. It's been a couple days since I worked on the car. The last video you guys saw was me installing the cam. It's been like 4 days since then. The weather got pretty cold. By cold, I mean Texas cold. It got down to like, I think 29 was the low. And then after that, we had Christmas Eve and Christmas. So you guys are probably going to see this in the new year. So happy New Year's. I hope all your holidays went well. I hope Santa got you everything you wanted and you had a good time with your family. Other than that, I have done a couple things off camera that I'm going to show you guys right now. Anyways, I hope you guys like the video. Like, comment, subscribe, you know the deal. And let me show you what I've done. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you guys is that we've got the timing cover on and we've got the oil pan down here back on. The only catch with the timing cover is that you need to put some RTV, right? Some sealant down here in this corner, or on these two corners where the oil pan, the block, and the timing cover meet. So RTV there, and then all the bolts go on, and it's 18 foot-pounds that they all get torqued down to. Other than that, the problem I'm having now is that this harness is for the L99, and it doesn't, obviously there's an extra connector that goes here, but there's no screw that goes into the timing cover. So we're gonna have to modify this harness, which we're gonna do today. Other than that, the only other thing is going to be our valley cover. This one is getting replaced. I've got the new one laying somewhere over here. There. Bam. Ooh. So this is the new valley cover that's going to be going on, and so that will go nice and pretty right here. So we're replacing this, we're modifying that harness, and that's what we're going to do today. Not super exciting stuff, but I haven't seen anybody talk about modifying this harness. So we're gonna do that together. We already got the oil pan on, we got the timing cover on. This is almost sealed off. After these two things, I have to still, oh, I screwed them down. But the springs, I still need to do the springs. I haven't done that. But after we do the springs, heads will go back on. And then we're actually going to leave the intake manifold off because it's going to be easier to get to the transmission bolts that are back there with the intake manifold off. But the heads will go back on, we'll cover everything up, and then it'll just be dropping the transmission. So we're making good progress, but let me get into talking about modifying this harness and getting this valley cover on. Alright, so I want to give you guys a close-up of why we have to modify this harness, right? So right here, this is a cam sensor, I'm more than sure, and we have this bracket that originally, the original timing cover had somewhere for this to go on, but obviously there's nothing there for that to screw into, and we don't need this wire because this connector that we have is going to be tuned out, so it doesn't really exist anymore. Down here there's a bolt that holds this bracket on right here, and then up here there's another one that shields this connector. So what I'm thinking is we remove this wire from this looming that's here, and then we can zip tie it or attach it back here somewhere. Probably just gonna be a zip tie, and that way we still have this connector if we ever need it. You don't want to just snip connectors off, so we'll take this one, tie it back here, and then cut right here and take this bracket off, and that should give us, I mean, a decent little looking connector, one that, you know, I didn't have to go and buy a new one because this is Broke Boy Garage. We're able to modify this and just kind of make it work. So that's the plan, is to get this wire out of the way and then cut right here, and then we'll have a functioning harness. Alright, so here is our finished product. This is where our cut was. That extra bracket came off. This piece here, just use the grinder and it cut off like butter, no problem at all. The wire, that extra wire that's here, I zip tied up so it's there. I wanted to get electrical tape and wrap it around here, but I couldn't find the electrical tape. So for now the zip ties will do, and then I'm just gonna sandwich this wire out like this because there's a bolt hole right there, so it'll stay in between there and get sandwiched between the block, and then so it'll just be like that. That one goes back to where it came, the connector right here, and yeah, we're good. So I'm gonna go put it back on, show you guys what it looks like. But yeah, that's how we modified that. Just a cut right there, get this wire out of the way and you're good. All right, and just like that, that harness that we modified is back on. So as you can see, we don't have that piece sticking out that was in the way over here. And then down here, we've got that extra wire is back here. And right now I've just got it face down. If I can find a cap for it, that's what I'll do, is just cap it off. But for now, it's tucked away back there face down, and it's not a problem for now. So that's step one, modifying that harness. Step number two is going to be removing this valley cover. All right, the valley cover seems pretty simple. These are all 13 mils. So we'll take all of them off. I see 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I see 10 for the valley cover. It seems simple. Let's get it off. If there's any problems, I'll let you guys know. But for now, let's get this valley cover off. Like I said, 8 13 mils. Alright, so we've got all the bolts off, but I've got a flathead here because this thing doesn't just lift off easily. But we've got all of our bolts. Oh, we don't have all of our bolts off. Look at that. There's one missing back there. Okay, now we have all of our bolts off. We got our flathead. Find a place to pry, like right there, and easy peasy. Oh, dusty. Ew. All right, easy peasy. Valley cover is off. All right, with the old valley cover off and the new one here, as you can see, all of these little towers have O-rings around them, because with these you want to cover them all up, because this would be a way to lose oil pressures for them to go into those towers. Because with the AFM one, I'm not even going to be able to really explain to you guys like the technicality of it, because it's not something I fully understand. But all of this junk does something with the displacement on demand and yada yada yada. We're not using it. So our new one has all of these O-rings that will cover up all of these towers. They do sell plugs that you can do to plug them as well. I didn't buy the plugs. I read that just with the O-rings you should be fine. If that becomes not the case, getting this valley cover off is pretty easy. So if it comes down to me having problems with oil pressure and it turns out that I'm leaking through here, then I'll just take the valley cover off and then plug them up and then put it back on, and it'll be no problem at all. But for now, I just have the O-rings, not the plugs. If you want to get the plugs, go ahead and do that. But let me get this valley cover back on. I went ahead and cleaned all of the surfaces up decently well to where I should get a good seal. So let me do all of that and then I will be right back. All right, new valley cover on, torque down. The torque spec for the valley cover, the timing cover, and the oil pan is all the same. It's all 18 foot-pounds. So those are all on. And then that's it. That's all we're going to do today. Today, got the oil pan tightened down, timing cover tightened down, valley cover put on, replaced, and tightened down. I do need to clean these pistons. These pistons are dirty, so I'll probably do that next episode. Clean these pistons, then do the valve springs. And I think that's it. Then this thing, oh, the valve springs, and then we'll do the push rods and the rocker arms. So that'll all be next episode. After we do all of that stuff, the intake manifold is staying off because it's easier to access the transmission bolts with the intake manifold off. After we do all that stuff, transmission will be coming out. We'll do the converter install and then put all of this junk back together, and the car will be up and running. Other than that though, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Deal out.
Oh, my bad.